All right, everybody, I'm going to try another one because I think that one really worked. So now I'm going to do number 3 on mandatory 2, or number 3 on mandatory 3. So this is number 3. And this one asks you to find the maximum speed in the interval from 0 to 9 seconds, given the velocity. And the velocity is a cubic equation. And everybody was running up to me today and saying, I can't factor it, I can't do the number line. But here's the point of this question. Every single time we did one of these maximum speed, we would test the beginning of the interval, the end of the interval, and another spot, which was special. And that special case was when the acceleration was 0. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find the acceleration at any time t. And remember, the acceleration is the derivative of the velocity. And that's going to be t squared minus 11t plus 28. And we can set that equal to 0 because every single time when we did the intervals of speeding up and slowing down, that other place where it could absolutely be the maximum speed was where the acceleration was 0. So we tested the same places every time. And every time you're looking for maximum speed, you're going to test the beginning of the interval, the end of the interval, and for right now, every place the acceleration is 0. So this will factor into t minus 7 and t minus 4. So we know the acceleration is 0 at 4 seconds and at 7 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to check the speeds at 0 and at 9, because that's the beginning of the interval and the end of the interval. And then we're going to also test it at the 2 places where the acceleration is 0. That's it. That's all you need to do. Every time you're looking for max speed, we're looking at the beginning of the interval, end of the interval, and every place the acceleration is 0. Always, always, always those places. So to find the speed at 0, we're going to sub 0 into the velocity equation, and the velocity equation was given to you. So that was v equals 1/3 t cubed minus 11 halves t squared plus 28t minus 4. And subbing 0 in, we get a velocity of -4, but remember, speed's the absolute value of that, so that's 4 feet per second. At 9, it was 45.5 feet per second. At 4, it's 41 and 1/3 feet per second. And at 7, it's 36.833 feet per second. And so now to find the maximum speed, we're just going to pick out the biggest one, and that's 45.5. So the maximum speed on the interval from 0 to 9 is 45.5 feet per second. If you don't believe me about these 2 spots, this acceleration being 0, go back and look at all the other examples that we did. Every single time, beginning of the interval, end of the interval, and that other place was where the acceleration is 0. So remember, you're trying to find these things in the most efficient way. In this case, the number line is not necessary. All we need to do is check the speeds at those points. All right, see you on quiz day.